Far too many veterans who served our country honorably are now homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. Glenda Williams is a U.S. Army veteran who faced homelessness along with her 5 children. Glenda was struggling to keep up with her rent and basic living expenses. She lived in a dilapidated unit with rodents, mold, broken windows, and broken electrical appliances. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation Homeless Veterans Program provided Glenda with not just shelter, but also a safe and secure environment where she and her children could thrive. Glenda has since returned to school to pursue a degree, and her children are excelling in their studies. Imagine what it means to veterans like Glenda to know that people like you were there to make sure that she and her family had a safe and stable home and a solid foundation to build a new beginning. For Glenda's family and so many others like them, friends like you make all the difference. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org. That's t2t.org. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us right here on Lara Trump, Wanted for Questioning. This is our last two before this election. We've got today and next week, and then we have the most important election in the history of America. So let's check out what kind of questions you've got for me today. Question number 1, how was the Al Smith dinner? Did you miss Kamala? I'll be really honest with you. Yeah, I did miss Kamala, and I think that was a miss for her. The Al Smith dinner in and of itself was very cool. I was really honored to go, first time ever going. And it was interesting because it's right there in the middle of Manhattan. This is obviously a very blue area. We know traditionally how folks in Manhattan vote. They do not vote for Republicans. And so kind of walking in there sort of felt like enemy territory. What was interesting to me is that I actually think that like 60 to 65% of that room was supportive of Donald Trump. Sitting there, I was like in the middle of it. And well, first of all, when he and Melania walked out, how gorgeous did Melania look? Amazing, of course, as always. But whenever they walked out, the applause was nuts. Whenever he was up on stage doing his bit, great. And I actually was surprised by how many people in there seemed very supportive of Donald Trump. But it kind of speaks to what we're seeing go on in this country right now, which is that people are done with the nonsense. They're done with all of the pandering of the Democrats, the identity politics of the Democrats. They can't afford their life because the Democrats are in charge. And people are taking another look at Donald Trump, maybe even some of those people who in a million years never guessed that they would be Trump voters. So that was very interesting to me. Then let's go quickly to Kamala Harris, who did not show up at the Al Smith dinner, had a scheduling conflict. Okay. And also, instead of actually giving us some sort of a, skit where she was telling jokes, a video of her, with jokes that anybody could have written for her, she farmed that out too. She got Molly Shannon from Saturday Night Live to reenact her little Catholic schoolgirl character, Mary Catherine Gallagher. What? It was okay. It wasn't great. Telling us we should have the first woman president. How about the best person for the job? But whatever. I don't know if you watched it, but I'll tell you, you could have heard a pin drop in that room because it was not received very well. For all of us who were physically there, that one was a bit of a miss for Kamala. And then you kind of couple that with the fact that Donald Trump absolutely nailed it. I mean, great jokes. Just like his ability to deliver them too is fairly remarkable because it's not just about reading what is written there in front of you. It's about delivering the joke for the audience. And he certainly did that. And then I actually thought that some of his best material was whenever he was talking to Chuck Schumer and kind of ribbing Chuck and, the rest of it. I thought it was really, really funny. And I think it shows you a bit of a side of Donald Trump that people say does not exist. Not only that, but did you look at the stage? Did you see who was up on that dais, by the way? These are people who have consistently called Donald Trump a threat to democracy. And yet there they are yucking it up with Donald Trump, shaking his hand, they're on the dais with him. So I hope that if anybody had any questions as to whether or not any of that holds any water, is legitimate at all, that's all politics. That's all just the standard that they do. And they don't have anything else to say about Donald Trump. So they try to make you afraid of him. They try to fearmonger. They try to use scare tactics. And it was clear as day. All those people sitting up there with him, people who've known him for a long time, know very well he is not a threat to democracy. They may want to take a look in the mirror or take a look at their own party, who has been the biggest threat to democracy by putting somebody in as your nominee who not a single person voted for. But I digress. So I had a great time. It was really cool to be there, to experience it. And I thought that Donald Trump absolutely nailed it. I thought that Kamala probably would have done herself a favor showing up there. But the word on the street is that whoever it was in her campaign who said, like, you shouldn't do this, probably had a bit of a talking to, from what reports have said. So, and rightly so, by the way. Okay, next question. What reality show would you want to be on? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you one I wouldn't want to be on is that Naked and Afraid show. Here's what's interesting about me. I love a challenge. I love a physical challenge. If you told me that I could go, give me like a 12-hour like workout type of thing, send me up in the mountains, have me run sprints, like a Spartan race, if you've ever done one of those, which are really great. I love a Spartan race. I want to sign up for more, but they're not enough in my area. And quite frankly, right now, obviously don't have a whole lot of extra time for that. But after November 5th, love a Spartan race. If you told me I was doing that all day, I'm dirty, muddy, whatever, cold, the whole thing, all day working hard, physical labor, love it. Give it to me all day, every day. That's what I'm about. But then I want to take a shower. I want a nice clean bed. I don't want a good meal at the end of that day. And that Naked and Afraid show, I mean, shout out to these people. The only thing that concerns me about that show is, and I get really invested in it. I got to see what's going on. I got to see who makes it. They do a good job. You guys drag me right into that. But I feel like people come out of that with a lot of health issues, like long-term problems. You get some sort of a fungus over there, or some sort of, I don't know, you get all kinds of crazy, come in contact with all kinds of crazy things over there. It doesn't seem like it pans out well. Some of these people, for like years afterward, you hear about them getting a parasite, and the parasite never leaves them. And just probably not for me. I also, the bugs, that would be it for me. Day one, I see these shows where they have the bugs. I gotta be honest, the thing I would choose would be one of those bug nets. Not only can you use it as a net so that you can sleep without the bugs eating you alive, because that's when I'm out. That's when I'm tapping, I'm done. But you can also use that to fish. See, I've thought of this before. And I've also tried to pay attention when they're starting the fires. So God forbid I ever find myself in some sort of a place where I need to have that knowledge. I'm going to be ready to go. What's the one where they go around the world and they do the challenges around the world? I never actually watched it, but the theory and the whole idea of that seemed kind of cool. Some of them were like of a physical nature. Some of them were based on intellect and having to figure things out and problem solve. Amazing Race, I think that's what it was called. That one to me seems very cool. So I would definitely be game for that. I was actually asked, I believe it was right after my father-in-law became president or right after his term ended. I don't remember, one of the two, to go on Dancing with the Stars. And in some ways I kind of regret not doing that. So y'all let me know, just saying. But I'm game. I love a good challenge, whatever it is. Throw it my way. Probably hence the reason I'm here in this role right now, as we are less than 2 weeks away from the most critical election ever. Okay. We've all seen how quickly life can change. The outcome of a single event can impact our entire nation. Now more than ever, it is crucial to be prepared. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with ReadyWise emergency food. With ReadyWise emergency food, you're covered not just for the worst, but for anything life throws your way. Enjoy peace of mind knowing you have delicious, nutritious meals ready when your family needs them. ReadyWise has a huge selection of freeze-dried meals from breakfast to pasta dishes. You can be assured your food will be good to eat when you need it with their 25-year shelf life. ReadyWise is an American company that cares about its fellow citizens, you, and is committed to your safety. Visit ReadyWise.com and use promo code Trump20 at checkout for 20% off any regular priced items. That's ReadyWise.com, promo code Trump20. Collectors, listen up. My friends at Global Coin present the 2024 $50 Golden Eagle, a rich symbol of prestige and integrity, minted at the renowned West Point Mint and graded a perfect mint state 70 by NGC. This coin is comprised of 1 ounce of 22 karat gold, and it features the classic 1907 Augustus St. Gaudens design on the obverse and the family of eagles on the reverse. This is heritage in your hands. So act now and elevate your collection with this iconic piece that is all yours at the current spot price of gold, with a free shipping and 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't miss this chance to add the 2024 $50 Gold Eagle to your collection and your legacy while supplies last. Call Global Coin now at 888-385-0066. That's 888-385-0066. Next question. Lara, are you going to run someday? Run for what? If you would have told me when I met Eric Trump, I'm not even going to say what year it was, many years ago in New York, well before my father-in-law got involved in any of this stuff, that I would be here today as ingrained in all of this as I am, just like fully in the midst of it. I can't even really appreciate it sometimes, because to take myself out of it and look in will actually give me a panic attack, so I can't do it. I would have said, you're crazy. That's how's that ever going to happen? Why would that happen that way? I don't know, but here I am, and I'm honored to do it. And I'm working hard every single day, trying my best to make sure we have election integrity, to make sure we get everybody out to vote, to make sure Donald Trump is the 47th president, to make sure we expand our lead in the House and take back the Senate. So we're working hard all day, every day. That's all we do. The hustle is real and it's happening. But with that in mind, I'm going to say, and I've said it many times before when I'm asked about this, that the one election I am actually focused on is this one right now. And I'm going to need a break. I think a lot of us will need a break after this election is done. Just calm down a little bit, reassess life for a second. And then I would never say never to anything, because 10 years ago, probably most of you watching would have said Donald Trump is president. I mean, you've kind of heard rumblings of it, but the idea that it would actually happen, probably you didn't think you'd see that day. And yet here he is as one of probably the greatest presidents we've ever seen in American history. And I believe he'll secure that title 100% as our 47th president. So I would never say never. I have no idea right now what the future holds. I don't even know what's happening for Thanksgiving. I'll be really honest. My mom asked me about Thanksgiving the other day. No idea. I don't know what's going on after November 5th. I am solely focused on that date, on that election. And then after that is anybody's guess, and we'll see. But I learned a long time ago, when your last name is Trump, you never say never to anything. So I guess the answer is stay tuned. Okay. Next question. Oh, should we really vote early? Listen up. Absolutely. Get out and vote early. You know, there's been a lot of Republican pushback in past years and past election cycles to voting early. Traditionally, Republicans like to come out on election day. Here's a couple of reasons why we want you to go vote early. And here's a good reason why that doesn't always work out. If you don't get your vote banked and actually secured, which we're making sure from the RNC, your vote will count. If you vote early, your vote will count. If you mail it in, we are making sure of that. If you don't do that, then you're leaving it up to chance. And we don't want to do that. We cannot leave anything this election up to chance. We've got to go 100% hard in the paint on this one, because we want to win this election. So I'll give you a couple of examples. You've probably heard me talk about this. Carrie Lake lost her election in Arizona by a very narrow margin of votes. If you go back to Election Day for that race, what you will recall is that there was a site, one of the polling locations in a very red area, with lines wrapped around the block on Election Day. The machines in that location went down. We won't read into that. I don't know why. But because of that, people were waiting there for hours on end. And sometimes you got to go. Sometimes you can't wait. I have kids. You might have kids, a job, family obligations, other things going on. You might get sick, whatever it is. An emergency could take you away from standing in that line for, I don't know, 8 hours and waiting to vote. All those people who couldn't wait got out of line. And what happened? Kari Lake lost that election. And again, it was a very, very narrow margin. And the whole point I'm trying to make is, had those people who got out of the line cast an early vote, cast an early ballot, gotten that vote banked, we might have seen a different outcome in that election. We had an election in Nevada. There was an ice storm day of the election. It prevented a lot of people from getting out and voting. It also changed the trajectory of that election. My point is this: life happens. You never know what you're going to see happen on November 5th. But look, if that's your prerogative and that's what you want to do and you cleared your entire day schedule, by all means, go vote on election day. But we like you to vote early so you don't even have to worry about it. And then you can focus all of your energy and efforts in getting other people to go vote. Once your vote is banked, then please drive people to the polling locations. Pick up your friends. Take them in the car. Say, hey, you want to go grab a coffee? Oh, by the way, we're also going to go ahead and swing on by the polling location. I'll let you run in and vote, and then I'll drop you back off at home. Do whatever you need to do. Get them out to vote. And then what that allows us to do as the RNC and the Trump campaign is the resources we would otherwise be putting towards getting you out to vote. And we know if you voted or not. We get a notification that you voted, and we'll take you off our list. And we'll say, okay, John Smith in Wisconsin, we don't need to worry about you anymore because you've already cast your vote early. So we're taking you off our list. And now we're going after a low propensity voter, somebody who maybe didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016, maybe hasn't voted since 2008. But we know every time that this person votes, this person is voting for Republicans. Those are the ones we've got to turn out. We put all of our resources on those people. That's how we're going to win this election, getting the low propensity voters out off the couch, voting in this election. And believe me, we've targeted them. We've identified them. We know who they are, and we know how to get them out. But it allows us to get more of them once your vote is banked. So, yeah, we want you to go vote early. I'm going to vote early. We can vote early this week in Florida. So look for my post as soon as I get enough free time to go vote. Although what we've seen so far, I'm going to knock on the wood, wherever it is, vote totals in early voting in person have been through the roof for Republicans. And that is a great sign. If we continue that for the next however many days we've got, 13 days, we are going to see Donald Trump with a huge victory on November 5th. So keep going, keep voting. Okay. Final question. Did you see Donald Trump working at McDonald's? You mean the greatest troll ever? Yeah, I saw that. And what's your McDonald's order? I'll be really honest. I don't visit McDonald's that much. My kids love McDonald's. They know what they're doing. They got the red box with the fries in it. Fries are delicious. Don't kid yourself. Those fries are perfect. Those are the best French fries you'll ever find at a fast food restaurant. And we all know it. You know it and I know it. As Kamala Harris says, you know it and I know it. We know it. We sure do. Those fries are delicious. My kids love it, though. They always ask for it. We go once in a blue moon there. To tell you the truth, my order there is generally just I get a large fry. Yeah, I know. It's not exciting. But the rest of it, I don't really know what I'm eating when I go to McDonald's. That said, I'll tell you somebody who loves it, Donald Trump. When you're on the Trump plane, believe me, you're going to run into some McDonald's. So I have a lot of fries on that plane. And I thought that Donald Trump going to the McDonald's was so great. Of course, there are I saw some people's comments saying, like, this is an insult to people who actually work at McDonald's. Well, how? Are you kidding me? You have a guy who is the most powerful person in the world at one time, and I believe will be again, going there and doing the job that you do, appreciating it fully, seeing what you deal with on a daily basis. He really was excited about going to work at McDonald's, wanted to see the ins and outs of things. I think he really fully, I think he caught the people who worked there probably off guard. I bet they really liked Donald Trump because he's a likable guy, despite what you'll hear out there. And I loved that he did it, not only because Kamala Harris claimed she worked at McDonald's, and then he said, okay, I've worked at McDonald's now officially for 15 minutes longer than Kamala Harris, but it's just so Donald Trump to say, like, okay, Set me up. I'll go work at a McDonald's. Could you imagine being one of those people in the drive-thru coming through? I posted this on my Instagram, but somebody, I guess, posted a photo of their order of chicken nuggets, and it was supposed to be 6. And they said, Donald Trump gave me an extra chicken nugget, 7. That's great. Those people are going to talk about that for the rest of their life. And I love it. I thought it was so cool. The photos to come out of that, the video to come out of that. And you really got to see Donald Trump's personality and who he is. He's a nice guy, and he's willing to put himself out there and really do anything. Let's see if Kamala goes and works at a McDonald's or somewhere else. I doubt it. She couldn't even show up to the Al Smith dinner. All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. You guys, we have one more after this to get us to the election. So send me all your questions because I want to answer them before this thing happens. This is, I don't even know what to say. I can't think about it too much. I start getting heart palpitations. It's going to be good, guys. Keep voting early. Keep making sure you send people to go vote as well. Let's make it too big to rig. Let's swamp the vote. Send me those questions. I'll try to answer them all next time. Let's wrap this thing up before the big day. Till next time, we'll see you back here for more of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide, and they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it.